Hey everybody, it's Crypto Steve, and I'm here today to just talk to you a little bit about the Townstar event that is ending this week. It's been pretty fun. It was put on by the Gala Games guys. I've talked about this in a couple different videos, and I've actually got a okay amount of views. I've got a few of you to try out the game. I know it's a simple game like Farmville. It's not super fun, but they are giving away prizes. They are making more games. It's going to be a full platform eventually. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at their announcement. So it's the last week. This week they're giving out some extra money to people in the top 10. Like my last video showed, you can't really get into the top 10 unless you're one of the pay to play people. If you've bought some of the items, like I have one of the items and I can't quite get there to the top 10. I got it by donating to charity in a live stream, so that was pretty cool. But it's just one of those things where you can't get there right now unless you've invested in the game, which doesn't bug me that much because crypto games that give out big prizes should kind of involve some investment, in my opinion. One other thing today, I am using a new microphone, so if you could let me know if there's any issues with the sound, I'd appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and see. This was a few days ago. They talked about how the top 10 have a chance to win 200 instead of just a 100 in ETH, so they're giving away $2,000 this week. We are still getting a rare crane part for being in the top 100 and a common part for being in the top 1,000. So if you're one of those people in the top 100, you get two parts. And we'll take a little look at my account so I can show you kind of what I've been getting for taking part. So this is the when you first log in, you're going to end up here on this home screen. You can win Gala for playing the game. They're going to show you some of the different NFTs for each of the two games. Right now they're selling land, and they are starting to actually sell out of the land, which is kind of good to see. I might pick up one of these homesteads. I haven't really decided yet. I have to decide soon though, because there's 245 left only. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to bring a little money into my Ethereum wallet if I want to do that. So from here, once you start playing the game, if you go over to social, when you refer people, you can earn these fountains for free. Thank you very much to the 10 people that have tried the game. You've helped me earn this good fountain. I don't have it yet. It takes them a little while to deliver them after you earn them. To get to the one after this, you'd have to refer 50 people. And you still do get 100 Gala tokens apiece for anyone you refer to the game. So here was my last reward from somebody that did log in. You do have to play for at least 3 days to get this. So if you just log in, play the game one time, and then go, hey, where's my tokens? You won't get them. You have to log in 3 different days and play for long enough to sell an item to a town. And I'll give you an example of what selling an item to a town is when we take a look at my town. To claim your items, it does cost Ethereum. So somebody who wants to like sign up today, you could possibly get one of these common items, like this bolt is a common item. I got 2 of those. I think the hook is rare. The track chain is rare. The brain chip is rare. Safety lights rare. It's this one is also common. These are worth roughly about $5. If you were just to get one of them and you came to claim it and you had to pay, this is 364 in Ethereum, and then to sell it, you'd have to transfer it to like OpenSea or one of the sites that sells NFTs. You wouldn't really end up making any money. So I wouldn't get into this right now if you're thinking like, hey, I'm going to play really quick and just get the common item and try to flip it. You could sign up, get the item, and they do plan to move off of Ethereum to avoid the gas fees for this kind of stuff. And then you'd be able to claim it and try to sell it at some date in the future for a few dollars. They also, though, at that point, when people don't have to pay Ethereum to move them around, they could start to cost a little bit more. I mean, a little bit less, right? Because if you don't have to pay $5 or $10 to move it around, you might be willing to sell it for $2 or $3 instead of selling it for $5, $6, $7, $8 or more. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to show you here? When you do sign up for the game, you do get a wallet. They're going to take Bitcoin out of here, and they're going to take Ethereum out of here. These are their 2 tokens. I imagine BAT will stay because this is more of a cross promotion with the Brave browser that they take BAT. It allows them to kind of push the game to people who are on Brave browser earning crypto to come play this and then see if you can win some of the Gala tokens. Now, we'll go ahead and take a look at my town. I do play the game on Brave. So the first thing I'll talk a little bit is about town placements. I think last time I showed you a steel town, this is a steel town. I was here in this spot, and I explained how having the mountain next to the water created some of the water that you couldn't grow trees fast. So I said I wanted to try this spot. This spot is one where the water is across from the mountain, so you don't have a shade issue over by your water that can help you grow your trees. The issue with this spot is it's far away from a town. And there's not that many spots on the map like this. This cost me 2 gas to sell, so it made the beginning of the game a little bit tricky for me, and it got me off to a slower start, which might be why I'm only ranked 25th currently. Here's somebody else with a spot similar to mine. They are ranked 4. There's always a good amount of people playing right here, even in positions that I think are not that good. Like this doesn't have a mountain. These spots don't have water. I have a feeling that this is a group of friends that is helping this person be this good, because you can trade items with your neighbors. And unfortunately, I don't have any friends yet I play the game with that would maybe set up here and here, and we would trade stuff back and forth to try to make me go up from 25th into that top 10 position. But that is a way you can play. So besides play to win, if you're playing with a group of friends and you plan out your trading strategy, you can have one of you build one crop and just go for that crop. One of you build another crop, just go for that crop. One of you build another one, and then everybody trade all of those crops to the person that has nothing but a setup to make the cakes or make the blue steel, which are the 2 highest items that you sell in the game. My last video showed you a cake town, so if you want to see that, I'll have a link in the description below. And now we're going to go ahead and just get into the game. Ooh, I got a Coinbase ad, but I'll close that. Gotta like those Brave ads to earn a little bit of rewards. Just to give you an idea where these 2 spots are, they're in Africa. I don't know, I haven't looked everywhere in the map, but it's really hard to find rivers across from mountains. One of the other popular areas is right here. And with these spots, these little corner areas, you can get river next to ocean, which you really need to be a baker. And I have gotten spots where I was river next to ocean. You can bake up in here. But all of these areas you have to be careful, because if you take a long time to sell stuff, you'll see how that can affect you when we get into my town and we actually take a look at it. So we'll go into my town here. They're having everything Christmas themed right now. Oh good, I just finished building that. So we'll set that to craft that. So now the special item that I have that is allowing me to not have to grow any wheat right down here, which is allowing my team to be much more efficient than you might ever be able to do, is this legendary Bitrue wheat fountain. Because I have a legendary, it supplies 5 wheat to the things right next to it. And then it would be 4 wheat here, 3 wheat here, 2 wheat here, 1 wheat all the way over here. Now, I use this in a cake town, and it did help me out. It's just cake towns are, they're very hard to manage, that's for sure. There's just, you have to build sugar. Sugar can be problematic. You have to make salt. You need an ocean to build salt, but then once you have an ocean for salt, growing enough sugar to be able to make the cakes, because they need 8 water, gets really challenging. So blue steel is a little bit easier to manage. So if you look at some of the areas that I think I've built pretty well, I like this little square in the middle of a couple power plants with the 2 waters. This is purely to have wood, lumber makers, and buildings to make fabric. Because when you make blue steel, you set up the fabric plants to make yourself uniforms as fast as you can. And then I have 2 steel mills, one making steel, and this one right here making the blue steel. With this setup here, where I have the power plants here, 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 and here, this spot right here, because of this power plant down here, is getting 7 power. So it only has to grab 3 energy to get to that 10. You could build this a little bit better. As you can see, I ended up with this little weird square. So I did not build this perfectly. It is not perfect at all. I did like this little piece of road here and this little setup for my wool farm. I am making wool so fast that I have a whole bunch of wool yarn, and I can't quite make enough cotton yarn to keep up. And I mean, I have a lot of fabric plants. As you can see, I got 4 up here, 1, 2, 3, another 4, and another 3 over here. So there's quite a lot. I could maybe get rid of one of these storage plants, but because I am at the point where I'm letting the game run by itself for a long time, I'm just leaving the extra warehouses so I can walk away and come back and just sell a whole bunch of items a few hours later. That's what you want to get the game to, because unfortunately you can't run it in minimize status, and you can't run it offline. You have to have it open in a browser somewhere on the main front page of the browser. So that's a little annoying, but it's because they're giving away money, they're giving away prizes. You have to actually be playing the game, and to compete at some of the highest levels, you do have to have it running pretty much 24/7. I'm only 25th because it was Christmas time. I didn't have it running 24/7. I took time off. I spent days with family. I did all the things that we should do during this time of the year. So I didn't have it run all the time, and so my town was a little bit slow. I'm still ranked 25th, so I think a lot of people didn't play that much. So this is what I'm talking about. With how far away I am, it's going to take me 2 gas to get to the town and sell my uniforms. And it's going to take, this is another disadvantage, the time. It's going to take over 2 minutes. This is why I went ahead and built two stations to sell, and maybe some people would say that I should just spend more time selling, but the fact of the matter is, because of the fact that I am in a situation where I'm so far away and I only want to come back and check the game every couple hours and then sell all my items, it would take me a long time selling them out of one place 10 at a time. If I had I've had 60 uniforms, and it would take me literally 15-20 minutes to just sell the items if I was just sitting here watching it, and I don't want to do that right now. So the other things on my town that I did right, I think, is by having the mountain here and the water here. This is an example of the advantage. All of these trees, every single one of them is growing at just 20 seconds. So I am growing trees extremely fast. The other thing it let me do is put water production right here, which actually I need to turn these back on. Water production is kind of a weird little thing that's this is the hardest thing I think to balance. If you're like me and you have, what do I have here? 6 water producers down here. These are nice because in this third tile, if you have these rivers here like I do, these little ponds, then these guys don't have to go and get water. They just produce it. The thing is that I've noticed is if I put them all on, or even 5 of them on, eventually they make too much water. And if I don't have if I turn them all off, eventually I start to run out of water. That just happens to do, I think, with as the game goes. And if I have it running pretty well and everything is equal, the storage space fill up and they can't put the water in. And eventually when I come back to the game, I have no water. So that's just something that I haven't quite perfectly figured out yet. But, this is a general idea of how I built this town. I have a lot of guys that are picking trees. I have my trees growing very fast. Altogether, I have 6 lumber mills making lumber. I have, you can count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 15 fabric pants running. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mines making iron. With this setup of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power plants, as you see, 1 here, then diagonal, 1 in the middle, 1 here, 1 diagonal. These all have all the power they need, so they never have to grab power. They just have to grab water and lumber. So I think that's a pretty good setup. With this power plant right here, I feed all of these ones at least 1 power, and with this one right here, these ones get actually 3. So each of these can be a uniform maker. You could argue maybe that this storage spot shouldn't be here and I should build 1 more of these. I might. I'm starting to think I'm not making lumber maybe quite fast enough to support 16 fabric plants and the 7 mines, but right now everything is producing pretty well. I don't have really any wasted spots. I could put something right here, but if I put something right here, it makes my cotton grow slow, and it already is growing kind of slow in this third position, and I don't want to not have enough cotton. So I haven't put anything here. I can't think of anything that would be that beneficial to have in that spot. So we'll see. I have noticed that my pickers are going to sleep sometime because I don't have that much cotton to grab. So I'm thinking about deleting one of these ones up here. That way I could put an industrial thing, because I don't want to put an industrial item here. It will hurt this growth area too much. So that's just a quick look at my town. We're at the 15-minute mark. I'm going to end it here. If you have any questions about the build or the setup, you can let me know. Obviously, you can see one of the mistakes I made is that my road is here, and then here, and then here. And that just had to do with rocks and trees that were in the way. What I did to be able to be successful starting out at a town where it cost 2 gas to send stuff was I sold basically all of my pawns except for a couple in the beginning. I very quickly made a windmill, and then because I have this item, I put the windmill next to this, and I started making flour immediately, having a storeroom and a windmill and that item. And I was able to always sell flour and never sell wheat. So I was able to conserve my gasoline to never get only 3,000 for the 2 gasoline, but always get over 20,000 for the 2 gasoline. And I was able to build my refineries up in this area and get them going in time to make me enough gas. But gas was definitely a problem the first day. There were times I ran completely out of gas and had to wait for gas to be made to sell stuff, and it was quite dicey when I was in the beginning of the game and I was just making flour and wool and selling the flour and wool. But once I got to the point where I was making fabric, making yarn, so I went for wool yarn really early, then at that point it was okay because I wasn't selling things so often. And now gas really isn't a problem. I pretty much just let the gas go down into the 40s and then I start making it again. And then other than that, I have the thing making power, because I do have a few of these that I put out over here and this one right here that do need a little bit of power. So I want to make sure that I have a decent amount of power. I'll turn that off if it gets too high, but overall my town's pretty efficient. I've been moving up the ranks pretty quickly as I'm selling off as I'm making the blue iron and as I'm making a lot of uniforms. And so I feel like, let me see, where am I? So I'm the top of the 800,000s. I'm at 23 now because I just sold those items you saw. I might have a chance to catch this person if they're not being really active, but these people have like almost double my score. But we'll have to see, because like right here, after you're in 10th at 4 million, this is the cutoff to get money. So if you're someone down here, if you don't think you can get into 10th, the only way your price would change is if you dropped all the way down to 100. Let's see, here's 100. They only have 100,000. So the chances of you, if you're over 1 million, dropping down over here is not going to happen. And if you go to the bottom 10, let's see, where are we at for the cutoff? Just doing this really quick to see if you wanted to sign up today and get into the Winter Championship and play the game. If you played it for a couple hours and sold at least a couple items, you would qualify to get the free common item. So I'll get this video up, and anybody who wants to click on the link, thank you very much. You might help me get to the elf bot. I don't think I'm going to get there. But see, all these people in the 800s, they only have 10. That's literally, they logged in. They give you 10 wheat in the very beginning. If you sell it, you get 10 points. That's all these people have done. So they launched the game and did that. If you let your town run until you collect 10 more wheat and sell those ones, you would get 20 points and you would you would go past all these people that just logged in and played 10. Now, Gala is not really advertising their games that much. That's one of the reasons why I think their players are kind of small. I'm pretty sure what they're doing is they're waiting for Mirandus to launch. Let me go here to the games. So Mirandus is going to be their fantasy RPG, MMORPG that's going to be completely playable in your browser. It's going to be a little bit like Minecraft from the look of it, just from that one page that looks like Minecraft to me. And it's going to be where you collect NFTs, you own the land, you own castles, there's kings, there's all those things. I feel like they want that game to be out and for people to be able to come and really advertise that game, because Townstar is Farmville, and Farmville is like a Facebook hit for people who just played in their Facebook browser with their friends and stuff. I don't know that many people who are like want to come to a third party platform to play that farm game. Given you can win some crypto. So if you're a crypto fan who likes to play games and win crypto, you should give it a shot. But other than that, it's not quite the same. So I just want to say thank you for everybody who's been checking out my channel. I've climbed up to almost 170 subscribers. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel if you're into crypto games, if you're into any kind of game that has a good ROI for playing it, or any kind of project where you get to earn a good ROI. That's pretty much what I cover. I cover a lot of the staking platforms where you can earn staking tokens. I cover Splinterlands because that has a great ROI if you get into it and start playing the game. I cover platforms like Celsius Network, StakeCube, which I'll be doing updated videos on. I talk about some of the different swap platforms that you should be using, because anybody that used a 1inch, if you just made one trade on it, you got $600 or $1,200 worth of tokens, depending on when you claimed them. So it's something that you might want to check out. I also cover a lot of different social platforms. I have a video on SoMe. I have a recent video on Torum. These are all sites that are basically trying to be the social platform that people use, and they reward you with tokens for using it. So thank you very much to all my new subscribers, and all of you have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.